Hello everyone, and today we are going to continue with the poem The Schoolboy, written by William Blake. In the last part, we finished the reading and explanation of this poem, and today we are going to move a little ahead. I'll show you the summary of it and discuss the poetic devices as well as the question answers based on this. So let's start with the session today. The speaker in this poem is a young boy who's at school in summer morning. He can't focus in class because he wants to play outside and enjoy the weather. He feels like a bird trapped in a cage. Towards the poem's end, the boy wonders how children can grow and thrive if they are not allowed to enjoy the summer. This poem is about allowing children to be children, to run and play outside, to experience the beauty of nature. Now let's discuss the poetic devices used in this poem. First one is imagery. Imagery is a poetic device where through words the poet tries to create an image in our mind. Examples of imagery in this poem are the mood of summer morning, the birds singing, huntsman who blows his horn, the skylark singing are all examples of imagery. Metaphor. Metaphor is a poetic device where two things are compared with each other for their similarities. Examples of metaphor in this poem are: how can the bird that is born for joy sit in a cage and sing? If buds are nipped and blossoms blown away, and if the tender plants are stripped of their joy in the springing day, by sorrow and care's dismay. Now in both these paragraphs, metaphor is used because here the poet is comparing the schoolboy with birds in a cage and plants that are nipped. Alliteration. Alliteration is the repetition of beginning consonant sounds of the words that come one after the other. Examples of alliteration in this poem are: skylark sings, where s sound is repeated; blossoms blown, where b sound is repeated. Now let's discuss the rhyme scheme of this poem. A rhyme scheme is the pattern of rhymes at the end of each line of a poem or a song. It is usually referred to by using letters to indicate which lines rhyme. Lines designated with the same letter all rhyme with each other. For example, if the last word rhymes with the next line's last word, then they are given the same letter, otherwise they are given different letters. Let's try to find out the rhyme scheme of the first stanza of this poem. I love to rise in a summer morn. The first line is always given the letter A. When the birds sing on every tree. Now the word tree does not rhyme with the word morn of the first line. Therefore, I am giving it a new letter B. The distant huntsman winds his horn. Now horn rhymes with morn in the first line, which already has a letter A. Now since they both rhyme, I will give the same letter A to the third line also. And the skylark sings with me. Now me rhymes with tree. Therefore, I'll give fourth line letter B. Oh, what sweet company. Now company also rhymes with me or tree, and therefore I am giving it the same letter B. So the rhyme scheme of this stanza becomes: A, B, A, B, B. Let's now start discussing the question answers related to this poem under the section Working with the Poem. Question number 1. Find 3 or 4 words or phrases in stanza 1 that reflect the child's happiness and joy. Well, some of the phrases or words that reflect child's happiness are song of the birds, song of the skylark, the sound of the hunters, sweet company, etc. In stanza 2, the mood changes. Which words or phrases reflect the changed mood? The phrases which reflect child's mood are eye drooping sit, an anxious hour, drives our joy away, cruel eye outworn, sighing and dismay. Question number 3. A cruel eye outworn. Stanza 2 refers to the classroom which is shabby or noisy, the lessons which are difficult or uninteresting, the dull, uninspiring life at school with lots of work and no play. Mark the answer that you consider right. Here the answer is part 3, the dull, uninspiring life at school with lots of work and no play. Question number 4. Nor sit in learning's bower, worn through with the dreary shower. Which of the following is a close paraphrase of the lines above? Nor can I sit in a roofless classroom when it is raining, nor can I learn anything at school though teachers go on lecturing and explaining, nor can I sit in the school garden for fear of getting wet in the rain. The correct answer here is nor can I learn anything at school though teachers go on lecturing and explaining. That is part 2. This poem is very relatable to any person who hates going to school. And I'm sure after reading this poem, you must have put yourself into his shoes and felt the same way as this schoolboy did. Well, that was fun. But learning is equally important as you breathe and as you grow. Because knowledge will take you to success, nothing else would do. That's all in this session. In the next session, I'll come up with a new topic. See you then. Till then, you take good care of yourself, be healthy and be happy. Goodbye.